It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
I'm tangled in myself.
Slick, when you get a chance. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Tuesday. Slick, come here. On a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, I want you to tighten up this shot on that camera. So go around the other way.
Why?
Tighten it up a little bit, because I want to tighten. I'm tired of looking like Andre the Giant. I look like...
You're bigger than me.
I don't care.
Well, what do you think? You're going to look smaller than me?
Slick, you actually had it good right there. Slick, you had it good.
Bringing sexy back.
He's bringing you back as sexy.
Slick.
Maybe I like looking small.
Move
Maybe
it
it's
to
I
us.
like looking
Okay, that's
more
it.
petite than you. Maybe I do it on
I don't
purpose.
care what you like. It
Maybe
makes
I
no
do it on
difference to me.
purpose.
I like this.
Maybe I don't like looking so big.
And I don't hear, but I see that they got the television in the background working.
The television in the back is working, and you got 3 cameras, and we've got Dignity Memorial joining us. We've got Marnie Goldman, who is off air, but she's joining us. Nice to see you all the way up from Aventura. Aventura, North Miami Beach. Aventura. It's about an hour away. How you doing? You and I have been working together. You did your zoo crew this morning, and then I haven't talked to you in the past couple hours.
It's funny, I got messages from the zoo crew this morning.
Did you?
Yes, I didn't mean to offend anybody. There were people that are just lacing into me for being...
Wayne, as we say, he's equally offensive to everybody. So today was of like, you know, no other day.
Wayne, when you were growing up, do you remember seeing women walk by and you would see them and you would say, looking good, mama. That's got to be jelly,
Wayne.
jam, all that. You never did that? No. You never
Wayne
did
would
that?
never do that.
It's funny because I never did that either.
I bet you and Juji and Fufi and there's no way you guys did not do that.
We didn't. Me and Steven, we never would do something.
Yeah, you and Steve-O as well.
We would never do something like that. We were always nice. You know, I mean, you go to the beach, right? You go to Florida. You go to the beach, and women are wearing bikinis.
Maybe that, maybe nothing
It's
anymore.
kind of a bikini. I don't know. There's a whole
you call
lot
it
of
dental floss
exposure.
is what you call it.
Yeah, it's dental floss. So what do you say? You go, you know something?
You go nothing.
You ain't got much on.
Why do you have to say anything?
So you don't say nothing, but you end up sitting there saying, I got to be cool, because you're not supposed to say nothing.
I'm glad I'm not a guy. This
Then
whole
why do women
cool-
wear it? I
this-
don't
this
get
whole
it.
cool- because they want you to look but not say anything. They want you to look but not touch. I got to tell you, I'm glad I'm not a guy. I'm really glad I am who I am. But you got to understand the way our mind works. And Marnie's going to talk about that Thursday on her show.
They got to look.
Marnie's
but they don't
mindset.
want-
Marnie, we should change the name of your show to Marnie's Mindset. Love it. You like that? Instead of True to Myself, Marnie's Mindset. Imagine
I
understanding
like
your
Marnie's
mind.
mindset.
He may be terribly terrified out there, but we could do it.
Yes, it's perfect.
Marnie's Mindset, coming to you Thursday at 7 o'clock on WWNN. We changed the name of her show to Marnie's Mindset.
Hey, Slick.
How is Marnie's mind?
Hey, Slick. Slick. Gene. You got it. I feel like I'm losing my arm here.
You are.
No, this arm.
Oh my gosh. Look how
That's
vain
right.
he is these days.
That's right.
Wayne, are you seeing this?
Good.
Mr. Vanity over here.
Good.
I
Perfect.
don't know what's
Now
going
I'm
on
happy.
here.
I want it
Shall
right.
we do a cat call for you? You're looking good. All of those who thinks Freddie's looking good, please give us a call
It has
at
nothing to do-
888-994-4995.
Now she's taking advantage
This show brought to you by.
of me taking advantage. What's the matter with you? No, I want it to look right, and I've been told.
I always like when my arms cut off. It kind of makes me look thinner.
What, Valerie, we're changing Marnie's show.
Marnie's Mindset. I just missed a 2-hour meeting and changed it in 30 seconds. That's kind of what I do best. It's like football. You know the best part of the football game, Wayne? The last 2 minutes. I can come in, see the play, basketball too. I can come in, see the play and go, this, I like it or I don't, game over. I've just saved myself 4 hours of airtime. So there you have it. You ready to rock and roll? I love what Dignity Memorial is doing right now. Host a pre-planning party on us. Quick, simple, easy, and gets done. Donuts and coffee.
They take Tupperware. You know how you used to have those Tupperware parties? You ever have a Tupperware party?
My mother used to.
You never had one in your life?
Really?
Never?
Really?
You don't cook, I guess.
Yeah. Leftovers. Well, although there are good for leftovers, I must say.
I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I had Tupperware parties. One of my wives used to sell, what's the big makeup people?
Mary Kay.
No, before Mary Kay.
Avon.
Avon. Avon calling, ding, ding. So I used to sell her Avon because I was out of work. And nobody in their right mind ever thought that a man could sell Avon.
We got to fix Wayne's light.
I did real well with that. So I used to take and put the Avon inside Tupperware. And I used to have a Tupperware party courtesy of Avon. And I'm going to tell you something. I did real well. I didn't know
What's
a
it have to
lipstick
do
from
with
an
the
eyeglass.
pre-planning party, though?
Because they are like a giant Tupperware party. He laughs. He laughs.
Not quite, but yeah.
Oh my.
That's the example you told me.
Slick, do me a favor. Check Wayne's mic. Has he now changed his name? Slick.
Check.
Slick.
Is it on?
There you go. Thank you. Can we put some more light on Wayne also? Thank you.
So he told me it was Tupperware type-ish, except they bring you get to pick your coffee. I don't know how to fix.
Well, Wayne was just telling me this is kind of a cool idea because it's just low key. It's easy.
Yeah, it came out of one of our counselors reached out to, she was speaking to a widow. She lost her husband recently, and she wanted to have an appointment to do her pre-arrangements, and she actually asked if she could invite a few friends for moral support, and it ended up being a party. So she had brought in wine and donuts, and the counselor helped the widow and her 3 friends put their arrangements in place. So it was kind of a fun atmosphere. It happened with one of our other counselors in Tampa. So I kind of thought, well, let's kind of promote this as a potential event for someone. If they're ready to do their pre-arrangements, they can invite some family and or friends over. We can do it together, and we'll even bring the food.
Are you finding things more simplified now? People are looking just for simple doing what they, I don't even mean about the arrangements, but the pre-planning aspect of it, a couple friends versus a whole big event.
Yeah, well, events were nixed by COVID. Yeah, we're just, our first one is on Thursday. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Yeah, events are a lot more low-key, and home parties kind of falls in line with that. So people can select who they want to interact with. Again, family members or close friends at their home. We're still doing a lot of online events where we'll provide the information online, and then we can have meals delivered to the home. We did that with pizza and pre-planning. We did a few of those. This Thursday, we're doing our first lunch seminar again in a restaurant. We're trying this in Coral Springs. We have a few people signed up, limiting the numbers, doing social distancing between tables, just to be safe with people. So some people are venturing out and are willing to go to a restaurant and do that, and we're seeing the
Where's
appetite.
it going to be?
It's at BJ's Restaurant in Coral Springs. So it's kind of a large venue. They have large space. They're being very accommodating. So we have 6 feet apart from each table. So only people from the same households at each table. So there's a severe limit on how many we can accommodate there. And then we're doing an online seminar that night, Thursday night, so people can join us online. And depending on where you live, we choose a restaurant near you, and we'll have a meal delivered to your home. So that's another option. You can still get the information. You can still get a meal. Win-win-win.
As long as you get the meal, it's good, right? In the Jewish religion, just give us the meal and we're good. Right, Marnie's like, yeah, see Marnie's mindset. Dine and dash. You don't have to dash anymore. You can dine and dine in virtual. You can,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother world that we're living in.
Yeah, we find food is a good motivator. So, you know, we're happy to do that. And again, it's with this host your own pre-planning party. We'll bring some catering to the house. Why not?
That's so funny. There are people that went into a restaurant, this group of ladies, this is a true story. They walked into this restaurant together, there were 4 of them. And they said to the hostess, all right, can we all have separate tables? And she said, okay, but why? And she says, well, we need to be socially distanced and 6 feet apart. And the hostess says, well, that's fine, but didn't you all just come in the car together? And they said, yes, but we need to sit separately at a restaurant. So all you could do was laugh. And she said, well, we can accommodate 3 tables of you all sitting by yourself. But we could not do 4. And this is truly what's happening. So I laugh like this sounds like a joke, but
Wait
no.
a minute. You two know these people?
I know of these people, yes.
These people don't happen to be mom, right?
No. But my parents, they go in a car together, and they live in a house together, and they sit at opposites. You saw opposite sides of the table, right? Because they shouldn't sit next to each other at the same table.
You thought that me going to a drive-in and the cars had to be 6 feet apart was funny. I thought that was hilarious. What do you mean we have to be 6 feet apart? The cars are actually 6 feet apart.
I know. In case somebody sneezes, it travels not 5 feet,
Well, I
11
found out
inches,
you're
but 6
supposed
feet.
to turn off your car and roll down the windows to see the movie.
I'm telling you, you're like a throwback to a John Travolta movie.
I'm not doing that. It's too hot. The floor is
Stranded
crazy.
at the drive-in.
I
could sing
spent
for you. Marnie will sing for you.
I spent a tank of gas at a drive-in because I keep it on. I'm gonna keep the AC. I take my car too.
Well, based on what we do here, right, we have a whole nother AC. But Wayne, I love this idea of people coming together in small groups. And you think they're coming together and they're choosing similar things? Is like a herd mentality where you go, well, if Sally got this, Susie's going to get this.
Yeah, so our counselor Stacy, who ran this event recently, yeah, she said she actually had a great time. She left, you know, felt like a party, and the ladies were like comparing, you know, with each other what they chose, and they helped each other, moral support. And she said it was kind of a, you know, fun, lighthearted atmosphere.
Okay, wait a minute. What is it that they chose? I'm really curious. What did they choose?
Well, they were choosing their caskets. They were choosing, you know.
Okay, then it leads me
Did
to
you get
another
the blue
question.
one?
This is unbelievable. Let's go check. Do you actually bring a casket? Can I lay down inside my casket?
No. We don't have a free trial, Freddie.
What's wrong with you?
Well, if you're
Thank you, it's bad luck.
If you're doing this
No.
whole thing, I want to see if I'm comfortable.
It's bad
In the
luck.
old days, there used to be a casket room where they would have caskets on display. You could have a look. That's not there anymore.
I'm going to tell you something. It isn't too much in the old days. I grew up and I remember that.
The funny thing is when you picked yours, it was a thing. I mean, you looked, you're like, well, I like this one. Remember, Wayne? I like
Yeah.
this color, but it's got to be this plush. We heard stories of your parents. All of these pre-planning ideas bring back thoughts and memories of, unfortunately, what you had to do with your parents, what you don't want your children to have to go through, and what you want as your comfortable afterlife.
But I want to know.
You and King Tut.
No, I want to know. Am I going to be comfortable? Is there enough headroom? Things of that nature. I'm not allowed to ask that.
Are there different lengths? Like if you're really tall,
No,
I
they're
guess you need
all
taller?
standard. Some of the cemeteries up north are the older cemeteries, a little bit shorter. So sometimes we have to. There's a short version of some
I
caskets.
think I would need a short version.
What do
Why,
we need
like,
to show
why
them?
spend all the extra money on the extra wood if I'm not going to take
It's
it all
actually not
up?
any cheaper.
It's not any
No,
cheaper, huh?
They're non-standard. Yeah.
Okay, so it's one size fits all?
Yep.
Isn't that
pretty much.
interesting? Like, I would think we could save money. I only need a 5-foot one as opposed to like one of the sports legends who would need like a 7-foot one.
They put cotton in yours.
Stop.
They were cotton
But
at the
think
bottom.
about that, right? I think about if they're all standard though. So these ladies all chose together. I think that's nice though. It gives them. Are they all widowers?
Not all of them, but the
They came
the
together
woman
to
who
do it.
organized it was a widow. She lost her husband recently, and she wanted to put her pre-arrangements in place. And she wanted some friends for moral support.
Isn't
So
that
it
nice?
turned out to be a nice atmosphere.
Nice to come together. It's a
Yeah.
great idea, and people can book their own.
Yeah, so we can do it at the home. So again, it's kind of for right now when COVID restrictions are lifting. Still, you know, not a lot of people are overly excited to go to a restaurant. You know, still a little bit wary there. So they can have something in their home. You know, they can choose who they can interact with. They choose who they trust. have people over, and we can still have, a bit of fun, bring some food, go through the options.
Hey, Wayne, did you sit in at this thing? Were you sitting there?
Sorry?
Were you sitting there when this was going down?
No, I heard about it afterwards, yeah.
Have you ever done one of these?
Not yet, so we're looking to book some of these in. So that's where we're starting to promote it. Just created that as an option that we're throwing out there. Maybe not for everybody, but it can be, in line with other things. So what I recommend is, if you don't know much about it, a lot of people don't. I'm continually surprised to know that only 2% of people have made their pre-arrangements. I really strongly encourage all viewers, all listeners, to maybe join us online Thursday night. Free to join, wherever you are in Broward County, Palm Beach County. Join it. Meet us separately to go over options, and we're going to have a meal delivered to your home. Or you can watch it and then host a party, and we'll bring food to your house, or could be maybe the clubhouse at your community, somewhere else. It doesn't have to be your home. But if you want to host at a party, bring over some relatives or some friends, go through the options. We'll throw in some food and have a bit of a laugh while we're doing
I'm
it. Why
thinking
not?
girls' night in, because girls' night out isn't a thing. Maybe it is. I'm not comfortable doing a girls' night out, but
Yeah.
girls' night in to kind of do these things.
Why not? Yeah.
And just drink, have some fun, and at the end of the day, put your
Girls-
plans
You ever
in place.
notice, men don't die. Girls night in. So they get pre-planned. And guys, you know what, shove us down the toilet. Take care of business. You ever notice that?
Well, I don't know. Do guys come together socially to do these things?
Absolutely. Around a couple of cases of beer.
Okay, that
some
works.
Hot dogs. We
Doesn't
got
have
the
to be
hot dog
ladies.
guys.
That's coming
Yeah.
next week.
We can have beer and pizza, no problem.
And
Why
we can
not?
have
And-
wine and sushi, and it just.
And we put on a
Although
sports
that could be
game.
kind of cool, though, to see how different people do different coming together events.
That's why I was
the
asking if he
ladies and the
did.
guys.
I was asking him, are the husbands with them? or it's
ideally,
just
I
women?
think it would be couples, maybe
Yeah.
a few couples together, because usually husband and wives do these things together. Although, this is a new seminar we're doing on Thursday. It's Did You Know? And we're talking about all the benefits of pre-arranging and all the things that people don't know. One of the main ones is, did you know that you can actually make pre-arrangements for your spouse or a parent or another family member?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the Do You Know segment pieces
Yeah.
that you're doing, because I think there's so many parts of it that people don't know, and you assume that you know.
Yeah, this last week I've had at least 4 adult children call me and say, actually my parents made their pre-arrangements quite a while ago. I don't think it's going to be much longer now. Can I double check things? And they're relieved to know that, by their parents putting their pre-arrangements. One I talked to yesterday, his parents did their arrangements in 2005, so 15 years ago. And looking at what they paid then compared to what they would have paid now, he was delighted. So, he's got almost nothing to pay. Everything's in place. So he was delighted. But a lot of other conversations, people call me frustratingly saying, look, my dad's sick. It's not going to be much longer, and he won't make his pre-arrangements. And I said, well, did you know that you can make your pre-arrangements for your dad? What? I didn't know I could do that. Yes, you can make pre-arrangements for your dad or your spouse. So as long as you're a family member or a spouse, even if ideally they would do it themselves, but if they're stubborn or think it's a taboo, especially if you know that you're going to be responsible for making those arrangements on the day and paying for it, it's to your benefit to do it ahead of time. You're going to save yourself a lot of grief on the day and a lot of expense. So that's one of the key themes of Did You Know seminar is, you can't do this for a loved one if they're not willing to do it themselves.
You don't need guardianship. You don't need power of attorney. You can.
Nope.
It's not like a life insurance policy.
So as long as you have vested interests, so as long as you're related or a spouse, then you can do it. if you can't do it for your neighbor or some stranger or something, is a little bit beyond what we're really able to do. But if you're a family member or a spouse, you can certainly do it for a loved one.
Are you finding people are taking the opportunity now that we're a little more homebound, well, although we should be, to put their, I hate to put affairs in order, but put their arrangements in order?
Yeah, we are seeing, we certainly have been very busy. And for weeks, we've been doing mainly almost entirely online appointments. We are starting to meet more and more people in person, mainly at the funeral homes, but some home appointments as well. So I think, unfortunately, COVID has, it's a daily reminder that we're mortal. So, people are thinking about things and saying, oh, well, I know I've been putting this off. Maybe I should put this in place. So people are calling us, getting information, and yes, making.
I think
making
I'd
more
rather
of their
do it from my home than a funeral home.
Do what?
Put in my planning arrangements. I don't feel like I want to go to a funeral home and look around like I did for a bar mitzvah and go, oh, this is this room and this is that room. Other than once I find my place that I want to haunt you all from, I think when I really sit down to do the details of putting your physical body where you want it to go, I think from your home is a little more comfortable. So I like this idea of the get together or you coming out or doing it virtually because you're in that comfort zone of what you know.
Sure.
Instead of having to deal with what's going to happen,
Sure.
you find that peaceful place and where you can give people tours and I can say, Wayne, I like this spot, but I want to make my arrangements from my home.
We can cater to everybody. So
That's what I like about
some people, some people want to meet in the funeral home, have a look around. Others, like yourself, would prefer to do it at home, maybe with, where they're comfortable.
Freddie just
Still
wants
a
to
lot
break
wanna
open
do it online.
a couple of cases of beer and have a party.
I think that mental anguish disappearing, making that whole thing, why not make it a fun event? Listen, we talked about
did it
stuff here,
Yeah.
and we sort of put things together because we had something to follow on that stuff, but it made me think a lot about what's going on and how to make it work. And it's opened up the conversation with a lot of people now in my family. So
Yeah.
the reality, I never knew this other thing was coming. I never saw this thing coming. The reality of what's going on right now is you got to have these conversations, unfortunately. And you have to have it because of our circumstances even more profoundly, as you could tell. Things are getting to another level. It is happening. And you can deny it. You can say, you're going to get over it and people get sick. And, I'm sorry, we are mortal. Superman does die. And that's the bottom line. And the quicker you get to the real deal here and you become real about what's going on, I like to have fun. I would make it a blowout party.
We did that, remember?
I remember.
That was the last event we had here, actually, Wayne.
Oh,
That
yeah?
was in February, yeah?
Yeah.
I
2 weeks later, everything shut down.
But if you think about it, if that was my final day, after everything that's going on around us right now, and people are going to remember you for like 15 minutes.
We'll remember you for more than 15 minutes.
About
But you
15
got half of it planned. You
Yes.
just haven't picked that place.
No, and that's a difficult situation right
Why?
now. It's difficult because, and Wayne keeps inviting me to all these different places.
does.
I don't want to know. I don't know where the final resting place is going to be yet. I haven't gotten that feel. I don't know if it's Florida, New York. I don't know. If it's going to be Florida, I really don't know Florida. I don't know anything about Florida. I asked Wayne, can I lay down? Can I go to these places and lay down?
I'm sure you can.
Well, I
Sure.
can.
Knock yourself out.
Then I want a picture with Wayne and with me laying down next to me.
But I love what Wayne does is he doesn't just let it rest. You did half of it, and he says, Freddie, we really should put the rest in play. And he doesn't say anything for another couple of weeks. Freddie, we really should do this.
No, he doesn't say that. He sends me an invitation. I'll see you this place. I'll see you Saturday. I'll see you.
But he knows you. He knows his clientele to know that, you know what, this is not like going to buy a pair of shoes.
Then he should know that he's scaring the hell out of me.
But that's why he's got to keep putting those seeds in your head until you finally say, all right, I'm going to go look at this location and this. Because then you change your mind. You went through this whole thing, right, Wayne? That he did not want to be
You
cremated.
could change your.
And
you could-
then you
hold
go,
on,
I
you
want
could
to be
change-
cremated.
You could change your mind. Your mind is going to be made up for you. You can't change your mind. I'm going to tell you, my biggest fear, if you want to know the real psychology of this thing, is that when I do this deal and I go there, it seems so real, so finite. And that's what's scaring me, because it is. And
Well,
maybe that's the reason, Wayne.
A big part of my job is to encourage people not to procrastinate, put things in place. So if the worst thing were to happen sooner than they think, that their family is not stuck last minute trying to make decisions and put things in place.
It's a scary thing, okay? It's scary.
And I'm wondering if it's different. Slick, your mom and your aunt are in healthcare. Have they thought more about putting things in place? He says no. Yeah, you don't need a mic, but I'm just wondering if, you can go get a mic. I'm wondering if now as things are changing and more awareness in the healthcare field, are people opening up to maybe putting more plans in place?
Maybe, I hope so. It is tragic. We see more often than not, people haven't made their arrangements. And we, of course, help in those situations as well. But it's always much, much harder for the family, on top of their grief, to make arrangements and pay the highest possible price. So we're just trying to help people just be aware of what the options are. If they do it ahead of time, ideally decades in advance, then everything's set. They've saved their family a lot of money, and it's as easy as possible.
It's getting younger. Are more younger people coming in to see you now?
So, yeah, we are seeing a younger crowd. Traditionally, people would make their pre-arrangements later in life, and it really wouldn't cross their mind until then. A lot of it is, that's what we're trying to do, is educate people. You can do this ahead of time. You should do this ahead of time. And if you do it with dignity, it's future-proof, and that it's always transferable within our network, anywhere in our network, even cemetery. You're going to save a whole lot of money. You can make changes later on, but to at least put the basics in place. So if the worst thing were to happen unexpectedly, your family's not caught off guard and scrambling to make decisions.
Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about more of Did You Know? I like the Did You Know. Did you know you can make arrangements for someone else? I want to hear about the other Did You Knows.
I thought it was, did you know what color clothes I want when at my send-off? How
That
I
could
want
be
to be
cool
dressed.
too. That could be
That's
another.
I'm going to tell you, that's a big deal among family members.
Well, let's go to commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about that. Give Wayne a call. You can also find him at Dignity Memorial Southeast Florida on Facebook. You can give him a call at 561-654-9000 to plan your small pre-planning party. Can you say that 10 times fast?
I wouldn't even attempt
Plan your pre-planning party.
it. Plan your pre-party, pump it up.
This segment brought to you by the letter P. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. celebration of a lifetime begins here.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference. Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Did you know?
No, but this thing about the clothing among Latino communities, clothing is very important. I don't know, Wayne, if you've had that experience.
Sorry, I
Clothing,
can't-
what people wear.
What, when they're buried or
Yeah.
to a service?
Well, no, he's saying it's a thing. Like, people want to know, they have a favorite suit, a favorite dress, a favorite something.
Yeah, so Freddie, I don't know if you remember, when we meet with people, we give them our pre-planning guide, or their pre-planning guide, we call it. This is something we've developed and continue to update over the years. This latest version, we spent over, I think it was $240,000 to compile all the feedback from our families and do the updates. And basically what this is, it's a comprehensive journal for people to fill out. So on the day they pass away, it's going to answer over 90% of the questions their family are going to have on that day. It has all the information the funeral director is going to need to do what he or she needs to do. It's going to have potentially detailed instructions on what you want on the day for your service, your burial. Who to contact, who to invite, who to let know that you've passed away. Maybe it also has a place for genealogy. We often lose those details when we lose some people. And also it's going to leave a lot of information for your family to help them with the estate afterwards. Where to send death certificates, where do you do your banking and information so that nothing is lost. Do you know the number one crime right now in the States?
What?
Identity theft. And they're preying on people who've just passed away.
I heard that.
Trying to get lines of credit on people before death certificates can be submitted. So that's one thing we really stress to our families, let us help you get those things submitted as soon as possible.
Let's talk about that, because someone posted they actually got a stimulus check for their mother who passed away last year. Things that are making, how can Dignity help people with the identity theft to
yeah,
take
well,
care
we
of
actually
that?
have one of the services we provide. We actually have an online service that we take care of all of that. So we submit death certificates and inform all of the credit agencies. immediately, so there's no chance of someone getting a line of credit against someone who just passed away, their loved one. So that's one of the services that we provide to our families, certainly.
To get everything in place. Now, I
Yeah.
remember when you went to Puerto Rico, you had a really hard time getting all that in place. The bank wouldn't let you do what you had to do because Puerto Rican law is different, and putting things in place, getting monies, getting your mom's death certificate, your dad's, took a lot longer than probably normal.
It's still not done.
What do you mean it's not done?
There is monies in my father's accounts that I can't get to. Because what's happening is you have to have sellos, you have to have these paperwork things drawn up. And then in Spaniard law, it passes down to me, my sister, and my nephew, because my brother died. So it transfers to his family member. So I'm stuck, I can't do anything. I can't get nothing in the bank, I can't do nothing until I get my nephew found, which we don't even know where he is. And I gotta get the paperwork done to go back and do this thing.
But you have your dad's death certificate. It took a
They
little
don't
bit.
care.
Wow.
It is a whole different animal in Puerto Rico. And in order to get it accomplished, I need my nephew. And without him, and he has to be either physically present, like they didn't let me get on my parents' account until I was physically present. You gotta bring in a passport and a driver's license, or you got to get an official document from the government of Puerto Rico, which is not open.
Wow.
So we actually, so that pre-planning guide, Freddie, you can leave detailed instructions, including what do you want to be buried in, what music do you want in your service, you know. So
Can I
those
get a
level
new-
of details you can
What
record.
music do you want, Freddie?
Can I get a new suit out of this thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do you want?
A new suit.
But we also
he's
work.
like, yeah.
I mean, I personally interact with a lot of elder law professionals, people that are specifically helping people with end-of-life preparations to avoid those type of issues, get around probate. A wealth preservation lawyer, one of them calls himself.
Oh, I actually
we
want
work
to
closely
introduce
with.
Wayne
So,
to a new friend of ours, now that you mention that.
Oh,
yeah. So there's a network of people we interact with, and a lot of times people, you know, we're helping them with their pre-arrangements for their funerals, and then we say, what else do you need? And we've got a wide network of other businesses that we regularly interact with and help each other with referrals and do
So
those
did
things.
you know identity theft? That's amazing what people will do. I have to tell you, people haven't learned from during this pandemic to enjoy life, because every which way you turn around, now we're planning for our end of life, and I'm hoping that people are actually enjoying life and having some fun, because between being quarantined, between what we hear in the news, between politics, whatever side you're on, and now you're putting this in place because at some point we all do pass, we should really be enjoying that dash. You know that dash?
what dash?
You know the dash?
The dash, no.
The dash. The dash that goes between the day you were born and the day you pass is the dash. And the dash is what life is. You've never seen that poem?
No,
about
I'm not as verbiage as you are.
Teddy, or someone's going to look it up for me. It's all about the dash. And what that is your life and what happens between that. And you can only hope that that dash, your life, is something that you've enjoyed. It's all about the dash. You've never heard? I'm going to find it for you. It's truly a poem.
All about the dash.
It's all about the dash. It's the dash between your birth date and the day you pass, and that is what life is. It's that dash. How do you make up that dash?
It's all about the dash.
You know, the dash.
It's all about the dash. You know, not to switch subject matter, but now that you've brought that up, I have a very big curiosity question to ask Wayne. You know, when you are buried, they put a tombstone at the foot of the grave, right? At the head of the grave. They put a tombstone. And if you have a mausoleum, there is no tombstone, or do they put engraving inside the mausoleum? How does that work?
No, it's on the outside. So the lid where it's sealed, the marker goes there.
Oh, so they have a marker on the outside. Okay.
Yes.
I always wondered about that.
You know what I always find interesting is the way they do the unveilings, at least in the Jewish religion. It's there, and within a year, you're supposed to do an unveiling, and it's very simple. They put a piece of paper over it, and they unveil it. Does it stay covered the entire time? So we call dignity, you have it engraved. Does
Yeah,
it
so my
stay
understanding,
covered
yeah.
until it's unveiled?
So Jewish families, they wait a year later before that's prepared, and yeah, it's covered until the unveiling. That's my
I don't know
understanding.
the tradition behind it. I'm not really sure of why that is, but it's another tradition that we do.
And is that part of picking your spot? Is the engraving, the stone, all that part of the deal?
So it can be. So those that can be prearranged as well, or not. So that's one of the other things in our planning guide we work through. It's like, okay, we call it a circle of protection, and we say, you know, what have you arranged? What do you have left to arrange? So a lot of people will maybe purchase their burial plot and then arrange their funeral, and maybe they never actually arrange their marker, and that's left for their family. Another thing that often surprises people is they may purchase their burial plot, but they don't know that there's an opening and closing fee for to basically dig the grave, or even if you're in a mausoleum or a crypt, to open the crypt and put the casket or the urn in and close it, there's always a fee. Oftentimes that's not in the pre-arrangements, and family members aren't aware. And I've seen it as high as up in New York, there was a cemetery, they were charging over $4,000 for the opening and closing, basically digging the grave, putting the casket and
Why is
closing,
that
over
not put into the
$4,000.
prearrangements?
Most cemeteries won't lock in that price.
Wow.
So they don't allow that to be prepaid or prearranged.
Now, how about with dignity and in Florida?
So dignity, we can. So our cemeteries, that can be included. It doesn't have to be. But we try to make that clear to people what has been arranged and what hasn't, and make sure their family are aware what has left to be arranged. In our planning guide, there's actually a circle, and it has, these are the things that I've taken care of, and those are the things I haven't. So and that's the number one thing. So those family members recently, they've been calling me up and saying, I know my parents prearranged, but what does that include? What's left to be done? And I always go through all of those things. Okay, so from what I can see, this hasn't been arranged. So let's call the cemetery and find out, if that fee is there or not.
That's really interesting, because I think about what I would do for my children. I would hope, and I haven't done it yet, that I try to put in place as many things as I'm allowed to put in place. Now, I don't think I would pick the engraving on my stone, because that's like, writing your own birthday card.
No,
but
I
I
would.
kind of think I would let my family choose to write what they would want to write.
No, are you crazy? Here lies
A crazy
Mr.
man.
Webbo or something.
So there we go.
No, I
So
don't
some
need that.
people want to put absolutely everything they possibly can in,
Really?
either to alleviate the financial burden for their family,
Right,
or
that's
they're
what
so controlling that they want to decide, to the comma what they want on
Financial
there.
schmenzel. I know that my wise guy's sons will put something stupid in there.
Yes, they
No!
will.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
Gio, there and Freddie. Oh, there is no.
Gio and Freddie, would you trust them with your engraving? Absolutely not. Absolutely
And
not.
others, they're like everything in there, but let's at least get the major things in place, so at least the basics are covered, and then my kids can decide if they want to,
Well,
what kind
mine's
of
is going
service
to
they
happen.
want or
Thank you
whatever.
very mucho. It's going to happen. It's got to happen.
You're going to go through all those details.
Yes.
And have you thought any more honestly, besides building your own mausoleum,
Yeah.
which I know is number one,
Yeah.
if you had a second choice of where you would like to be laid to rest, have you thought park, beachside, lake view, tree?
Beachside? They're going to put me on the beach?
Well, like a view of the ocean.
Get the view of the ocean. This is Florida. Everything's flat. You either see the bodega or you see the other
Maybe if
tree.
you're on
No
like,
cemetery I know of on the beach.
but if you're like on the east, you can like see the ocean in your infinite wisdom. Lakeside.
No, I haven't thought that far. No, I haven't. I haven't gotten the desirability to go there yet. I'm still trying to put my hands around what it's going to look like. And because Freddie makes fun of me all the time. He calls me Mr. Mausoleum. He says, that's really a little bit beyond the stretch. I go, it ain't beyond the stretch. Anything could be done if you put your mind to it. So I don't think in second option, because that's probably where I'm going to end up going. So, the second option.
Okay.
One other, do you know? We get a lot of people who maybe their spouse has passed away, or they never married. They don't have any children. They don't have any next of kin. They don't have any relatives. We see it quite often. We see people saying, I'm getting older and I actually have no family. I have no one to take care of this, so I need to, in case something happens to me. And oftentimes they're choosing to be cremated, but they can actually do their self-authorization for themselves. Usually, if someone is being cremated, we have to have next of kin come in and authorize us to be able to do the cremation. People can self-authorize before they pass away, have that signed in their file, so at the time, we can go ahead and perform the cremation and follow the instructions that they've left behind.
Wait, we got to repeat this. So if you're going to be cremated, you can sign the form yourself that says, I'm authorizing myself to
I'm
be
self-authorizing for myself to be cremated when I pass away.
Well, why wouldn't somebody do that?
Well, oftentimes it isn't, because we have to get authorization from the family usually.
Well, wow. So imagine if you don't do it and the
Nobody
family member
knows.
says, no, I don't want my family member cremated.
Yeah, and we do have some people that do question that, and they're like, for that reason, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, that's
Hold
what I'm
on a
thinking.
second.
We can
Hold
do
on.
that. So we can do
Yeah.
that ahead of
There's a
time.
little discussion here I'm not liking too much. I don't want to be cremated.
You haven't signed a self-authorization to be.
No, I don't care about that part. If my sons come over and want me cremated, that ain't happening, right? I mean, that's the reason we did the dignity.
So you put your arrangements in place for burial, Freddie. So you're not going to be cremated. You don't need to worry.
That's muy importante.
It is.
Because my kids will have me in a shoebox already.
You are steadfast on that, which is why when you tell Wayne you're changing your mind, he says, Freddie, don't. I know you don't want to change your mind. That is why
I'm still trying to figure out how to get me whole hum into the ocean. Put
Your
me in
whole
a
body
can-
into the ocean?
Yeah, like you don't cremate me, you put me
No,
in a can
not
of spinach.
happening.
In a
Not
can
You can
of-
squeeze me in.
In a can of spinach?
Shipwreck.
Spinach.
That's the only way.
Shipwreck, he says, oh, God forbid. Oh, my God, you guys are so sick.
I'm just
That's why
thinking.
Wayne keeps saying, Freddie, this is not what you want. It is not what you kept saying you wanted. You can change your mind, but don't.
Well, it was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it definitely was not like, I don't think I don't want to be cremated. It's like, I definitely do not. It's not for
That's
me.
why
No
Wayne
way.
is so good at what he does, because he knows what his clients want. You know what they don't want. You know what they do want. And he's here to say, you know what? When we met, you said this, but now you're
Well,
saying that. Remember this conversation
The role
we
is to
had.
help people make that decision.
Hey,
So everyone has their own faith and traditions, family traditions, what's important to them, and that's part of it. We say reflect, record, secure, and share. Those are the 4 steps to prearranging. Reflect, you've got to decide what's important to you, and then I help look at the options related around that and get it in place.
hey, we had
That's the goal.
Sunday dinner, and as we were eating, my boys were there, and they were talking about me, not, if I expire, what they would do. So I heard the conversation. I said, what do you mean you're having me cremated? Who told you I wanted to be cremated? Well, Dad, this is what we're talking, me and Gio are talking about. So, hey, you ain't talking about me. That was more of an angry situation. Because they were talking about cremating me and putting me in a tree by no, we ain't doing that. My mother always said to me, me and your father never want to be cremated. Make sure if you do anything else, because she wanted to be buried in a green dress. She died during the hurricane, there wasn't no dress, so they found a pink one. It always bothers me because I had promised her that, but I couldn't do anything about that. I couldn't even spray paint the dress. I tried doing that, it was nothing. So it went in that direction. As long as that part of the rule don't change, but absolutely I want something inspirational on my tombstone. The funny thing is I haven't thought about, man, where am I gonna hang out for eternity?
Really?
Come on, Freddie, let's tour some more of the
All right,
parks.
take it easy
Come
there,
on,
big
man.
boy. All right, you got me at the party thing here. Just take it easy. I don't know. Wait, I really don't know if even
I know
in
you don't know,
Florida-
but you can't know unless you go look.
That's true.
No, because I'm going to see something and then I'm going to end up regretting it and driving you crazy and changing my mind every 15 minutes.
You just got to drive around and look at different
What are
areas.
you talking about? You know where you're going?
No,
What the hell
I
you
haven't
talking
done as
about?
much as you've done.
That's right. And you don't see me.
Come on,
beating
Dawn,
you up.
host a party then. Come on,
I should host
let's
a
do
party.
it.
Tupperware party.
But 6 o'clock Thursday, guys. I want to know you're listening.
Yes.
Just text me. Text me your information. I'll make sure you get the link so you can join. It's not
6
on
o'clock
Facebook.
Thursday.
You've got to
we
register.
just talked about that. You can text Wayne. Number is 561-654-9000. Text him. Get pre-registered for Thursday at 6 o'clock. You can't scroll through social media and find this webinar. It's a special webinar link.
Yeah, so we use a platform. So it's just a simple login. We send you the login by email, specific to every person. It's free. See the information, get it, and then we can meet online or in person to go over specifics if you want.
Now, this meeting is not virtual. This is coming into
So we've
one
got
is
two on
virtual.
Thursday. One is in person for lunch, a lunch seminar, more traditional at BJ's in Coral Springs. So you're welcome to come to the restaurant. We'll be, giving that presentation there over lunch, or you can join us online 6 o'clock Thursday night. See the information and go from there. But I encourage you to get the information. Brooklyn Cafe viewers, listeners, you've always got a special discount. You just need to text me, call me. Encourage you to maybe consider hosting a party, bring some friends and family together. We're always eager to provide the information to you so you can make a decision. It's not like it's anything that you're not going to need eventually, and there are so many benefits to doing it ahead of time with dignity. Just really, really encourage you to know what's involved, know the benefits of doing it ahead of time. With one single payment, we can at least get the basics in place. You can avoid all cost increases. Did you know that covers payment protection? So if something were to happen to you, the balance is covered and you're not leaving a bill for your family to pay. There are so many advantages to doing it ahead of time. And on almost a daily basis, we see tragically people who haven't made their pre-arrangements, and just how much more difficult it is for your family in those instances. Either they're emotionally overspending, or they don't have the funds to put things in place, or they don't know what you would have wanted. And then on top of their raw grief, having to make those decisions for you, put that in place. So we're saying this is the biggest gift you can give your family. It's just decided ahead of time, put it in place, and enjoy the rest of that dash.
Enjoy your dash. I'm going to find that poem. Enjoy the dash.
Yeah. And to be honest, on a
true.
personal level, when I meet people and help them put their pre-arrangements in place pre-COVID, more times than not, I would get a hug. And people always say how relieved they are that that's in place and they don't have to worry about it, and it's going to be so much better for their family. That's the goal.
561-654-9000, Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida. You may not even realize the amount of locations that fall under the Dignity Memorial umbrella in Southeast Florida. These are funeral homes and cemeteries that you know of, but they are under the Dignity Memorial umbrella. So just give Wayne a call, text him, let him share with you. How many in South Florida? 23?
We've got over 30 from
there's 30.
West Palm down to Fort Lauderdale. We've got over 100 locations in Florida and over 2,400 throughout the network. And that's the thing. Did you know
Did you know there are that
that
many?
once
right.
you have your pre-arrangements in place, it's future-proof. So wherever you go in the future, if you are to relocate, your plan will go with you. I was just speaking to a gentleman earlier this week. He's in California. His parents were living here. They now live in LA with him. He's saying, I understand it's transferable. Yep. So I helped them find one of our funeral homes in LA. They did their pre-arrangements in 2000, 20 years ago.
Wow.
In Florida. So our funeral home in LA will do exactly what's in their plan, but there.
That's the way to do it.
And Wayne, they're asking, are you going to have any kind of seminar in the future for businesses? You know that plan that you have?
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Did you know we have this funeral benefit program for businesses, or actually any organization. So it's free to join. And what this does is it gives dedicated discounts to all of your employees or members and their family members, parents, anywhere in our network for dedicated discounts for a funeral at need or pre-need. So that's pretty unique. There isn't any other opportunity to get a discount, even if you haven't made your pre-arrangements when someone's passed away. But more importantly, you can get a dedicated discount for a pre-arrangement on top of avoiding all the inflation for anyone that's in your network.
Let me
So-
ask you, everyone that was here at the celebration of life that has not signed the paperwork, they can still talk to you and put some of these discounts in place, even
Oh,
though they
certainly.
met you beforehand.
Certainly. Yep.
So now's really the perfect time. Everyone that we met here,
Yeah, and basically, you know, these discounts that would normally only be eligible for people if they've joined our benefit program, I'm automatically giving to, you know, the Brooklyn Cafe network listeners, viewers. So you're basically getting this discount program just for watching the show. Just give me a
Wayne
call, and it's above, you know, the normal discounts that we're able to
I
give.
wanna take, if you could leave the pamphlet for the business piece, Wayne, because that's where I want to go with this next. I want to talk to business people. We're putting a lot of effort right now, Wayne, into getting businesses back to work, getting the mindset correct, retaining employees and things of that nature. And I think that's a good first step.
And this is a great benefit for any size business. Doesn't have to be a big business. It could be a small business with a few employees. It's free to join, and basically allows you as an employer to give that special funeral discount program to your employees and their family members. Again, anywhere in our network, and their parents. So for example, if I was an employer and one of my employees' parents were living in, let's say, Wisconsin, and their parents needed to prearrange, or heaven forbid, a parent passed away, through your membership in this benefit program, their parent living in Wisconsin could have a discount for a funeral. But more importantly, they could have a discount anywhere in the Dignity Network for a prearrangement, for the employee, their spouse, their parents, their grandparents, their children. And it's free for the company to join. There's nothing for anyone to pay. It doesn't oblige anyone to have to purchase anything from anybody. It just gives people access to discounts to anything in our network. And that's for funeral or cemetery, anything at all.
I think that's outstanding.
I know, you really like that. So let's start. And I want to introduce him to an attorney that we've been working with,
Oh, yes.
because I think I definitely want to make that introduction. It's another area in South Florida that I'd like to make that introduction as well.
I agree. I think that as more and more businesses are coming to light, I think we should start making some introductions to the businesses that are coming on and joining the network. And we have multiple companies now coming. A lot of people have finally heard the bell. You know, there's more strength in all of us getting together, helping one another, retaining business and everything else. I was even thinking about restaurant business. Would
Yeah.
share a kid? One of the kids goes in today to get interviewed for a job at a restaurant, and they're only going to hire her for 2 days. And then he could share that particular employee that he's hired with another business that's going to hire her for another 2 days. So all of a sudden, we went from 2 days to 4 days, maybe 6 days, and that person can make a living being shared out by 3 companies, and we could put things together that make
But then that
sense.
person is exposed to that many more people.
But I understand that, but the reason they're not opening is because they can only open up. But how are you going to make a living on one
know.
place where nobody's
In
coming
the
in?
old days, I'd say, yeah, everyone can have part-time jobs. In the new days, you're thinking, do you want to be in that many new environments, exposed to that many other situations on a regular basis?
You have to be protected. But you're going to work? Are you going to work? Are you going to work 5 days a week? You're going to be exposed?
I know.
Oh. But the object of the game is that you're hiring somebody that you will hire, and she could be hired, and she could be hired. All of a sudden, everybody's resolving a little piece of their problem. Same thing with the things that Wayne has going in there to keep good employees. You got to retain them because everybody's going to go out and find whoever's hiring.
There's so many different ways. Contact Wayne. You can also follow them on Facebook, Dignity Memorial Southeast Florida. Also, they're on Instagram. You can give him a call, 561-654-9000. You can host a pre-planning party on them. They'll come to your house. They'll come to your venue, have a small party, bring some food in the comfort of your own home. You can go to BJ's Restaurant on Thursday. All you have to do is text Wayne and make a reservation. You can do a virtual Did You Know Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Again, text Wayne, let him send you the link. It's very simple. Just text Wayne. 561-654-9000.
Yeah,
How'd you get that number, by the way?
It's good, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
It was just by luck. And I got that, like, wow, that's fantastic. So
That's
I love that.
awesome. Dignity Memorial, Southeast Florida.
Yeah, happy to provide any information to anybody, anytime. And we're doing lots of virtual events as well. So even if you've a small employer, Maybe most of your employees are working from home. I just did one the other day. We would normally come to a business and maybe do a lunch and learn for the employees. We did a virtual event.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much.
that's something else we can do.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you. You too.
Nice, cool warehouse. Stay tuned. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we've got Jay Farrow of the Farrow Law Firm with some positive returns from last week's show. Wait to hear this.
That's excellent.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995, and we'll be right back.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or carmencarelaser.com.
The benefits of CBD are well known, but not all CBD is equal. At your CBD store, our award-winning products are made from organic industrial hemp. Your CBD store products are third-party tested for purity, and we offer a wide variety of products to meet your needs and preferences. From water solubles, topical creams, and oil drops to pet products. Visit your CBD store and let our knowledgeable staff guide you. Your CBD store.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff, your branding specialist with Promo Stuff For You. So we're entering the new year. By now everybody has gotten their corporate gift, so this time of year generally is quiet with the exception of marketing departments trying to figure out what they're going to do for 2020. So it's really important that a company figures out and does proper planning throughout the year as to what type of marketing they want to do. At Promo Stuff For You, I love being able to sit down with a client and figuring exactly what they want to do, when they want to do it, and time it with the various events that they might have coming up.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference, if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I'm going to tell you something, Dawn. All kidding aside, I'm reading this stuff about the groups and everything else. I think I'm going to talk to everybody that we work with and have them put this together. This is good for retaining workers. It's good for their families. It's good for the workers' families. It's good for the workers' families' families. Like Freddie and everything else will be covered with this stuff. And there's all sorts of information and discounts and everything else, making a difficult time a little easier. Look, it says that right here.
That's the most amazing thing, that it's not just for your employee or your employee's spouse. It's your employee, their spouse, their children, anyone that happens to unfortunately pass away without pre-planning gets the benefits of some amazing discounts.
That's right. And if you own a business, this is free.
But you know, you can also, as part of your package for your employees, because now people may not have extra money to be giving raises and perks and bonuses. This can be a perk that, you know, it helps retain, and maybe you using it, hopefully, God willing, down the road. But if you've got a parent, someone who's older, they can also be part of this benefit package.
And it's free.
It doesn't cost the employer, right?
It's free.
It's
I
free.
can't. It's free. And you know what free means? It means you don't pay for it. It's free.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give. We can give all the producers in here and their families and put them on this plan and let them, whenever the need arises, is there at a discounted price and everything else. But I didn't know this was free. I was afraid to ask.
Freddie, did you know it's free?
It's
did
free.
You know? I think Wayne
It's
has to go
free.
into some of your did you knows.
This is free.
It's kind of cool. I keep seeing your hand behind me because now we have our new HDMIs and all of those things.
I keep thinking there's somebody behind me. It's kind of creepy, but I'm not gonna say no.
Dignity Memorial, they've been there through so many things. They have over 100 from West Palm Beach to Miami locations that you don't even realize. Prayer Funeral Homes, Babillon, things that you know about, that you know the name, those are under the Dignity Memorial umbrella. And Wayne can help get you in contact and take you to all of the places, Dorsey, that we went to do that remote from. They may not say Dignity, they do someplace in the fine print, but that's not overwhelmingly, you're not gonna drive down the street and say, oh, that's a Dignity Memorial location. You're gonna see all the names that you know, that they are under the Dignity Memorial umbrella. And what they have done is they've kept those names in place, they've kept those family names, they've kept those icons in Florida for everybody.
And what I love about Wayne is that he's completely honest. We did a shoot up in.
Wayne is honest, yes.
Where did we do the shoot? Up in
The
West Palm?
E.L. Dorsey, I believe it's
E.L.
called.
Dorsey. And then they gave me a tour. They took me in that little
I know,
cart.
you disappeared on the golf cart.
And they took me and they gave me a tour, but they brought it home for me. And there were a lot of hitting the course with other people. They don't do none of that. You know, I use them to bury mom and dad in Puerto Rico. They don't do any of this sidestepping hustle things. And they tell you the things up front. And this is what I love about dealing with Wayne. He's one of the most honest men I know. And when you are when you're mourning and bad things are going on because you've lost a loved one, you're very susceptible to making some bad choices. And you're just signing things away. And you're giving away all the money you have because you got to get it done. And they don't take advantage that way. That is the one cool thing I love dealing with Wayne. Everything he's ever said that he's going to do for me, he's done it. He's never shortchanged me. He's always been on point. He's been very honest. He's relieved me of a lot of questions that I had. I have one more hurdle, I'll give you that. But even that, he makes it, listen, when you're ready, they're having a special, they're having this, they're having that. Take advantage of it, because if you don't, you're just going to pay for it.
It has given me a lot of pause for thought of where
She's pausing.
I'm pausing. I actually
And she's
think,
talking.
yes, of where I want to be, final resting place, what it is, and it's a weird thing to actually think about. My family is all in a mausoleum. The noise of when they get put into those drawers, to me, I don't want to be in a wall. But
That's
then,
not the mausoleum I want.
I know you want to build one, but these are just things that I know of, that my whole
I can't
family
do that.
likes these mausoleums in the walls. I don't really want
I
to be
can't
in
do
a
that.
concrete wall.
When I come back to life, I can't get out.
I'm thinking I want to be near a lake. I want to be near a tree. Things that I love, to have the birds come and the trees
What are you
and the lake.
talking about? You want to go underneath the ocean.
I don't want to be cremated. Well, I did. I wanted to be among everyone, but I'm thinking I don't
Now
want
you
to
don't
be
wanna be
mixed.
cremated?
I don't want to be mixed with concrete. So now my new thought is, I think about this a lot. Is just like a simple box near a lake, near a tree, near greenery, near something beautiful, that when I walk outside, that things that make me smile now, the sunshine, the birds.
A lake, yes. The beach, no.
A lake,
A
the
lake.
birds, a tree.
But and then I think about seepage. Then doing the stroke. like
No, in Florida, you've got all linings. You got everything.
this. You
that
don't know
need.
that a lake overwhelms itself, and all of a sudden you're underwater.
You know, you can only have faith in God and all those people that do the right things. And Dignity Memorial, they've got
You know,
so
I wish
many
you wouldn't do
options.
this to me. Now I got all this stuff floating in my head.
Good at that.
And now I'm
Give
thinking
Wayne a
about
call.
this.
Text him 561-654-9000. Just put a pre-planning party together. Start looking at some options. If you are a business, you can provide these options for your employees, their families, and it extends, so they have options as well. And as we roll into our 1 o'clock hour, we got some good news coming.
Yeah, I want to hear about
I
that.
got to talk to Jay while you were talking to Marnie's Mindset, which is a scary place, right, with Marnie Goldman. And I got to talk to Jay, and he said, I've gotten some feedback. And Jay has a way with words, but he left out the positive side of the feedback.
He just gave you the negative?
No, he just said, I've got feedback. And then he
okay.
started telling me, I said, but Jay, that's good. And he said, it's really good. I want to share what's going on. So we've got Jay Farrow with the Farrow Law Firm joining us, VMix, coming virtually from his office. There he is. Good afternoon.
Hi, guys.
You got good news and you don't share the good news.
Well, the good news is that I got a response to my Facebook post and the show that we did. I can't tell you how many people reach out to me, lawyers from across the Northern Hemisphere, about their experiences with other attorneys using the legal system to bully and to intimidate and use it for what they call perverse purposes. It was actually, I was inspired to know that, number one, I wasn't alone, but this is something that's happening day in and day out, and people should be talking about it. And so I will continue to talk about it.
And we talked about the bullying. We wanted to talk about the money side of all of this. I'm seeing now legal trials, criminal trials are not being held in the courtroom. So that's changed everything. But yet attorneys are bullying other attorneys and other clients, even through a pandemic, even though a lot of law firms have not physically opened their offices because you're able to do a lot from home with your software. It doesn't mean the bullying has stopped, correct?
Well, my law firm focuses on claims involving fraud, civil racketeering, civil conspiracy, and our it's certainly not for the faint of heart. When we're going after people who have been running a scheme to rip people off over a course of time, and in the process of running the scheme, people commit crimes. And that allows a civil, when I say civil, this is not criminal, this is civil court, to prosecute an action for what's called civil racketeering. And when you're going after these claims, the people on the other side have built a system, which includes lawyers, that know how to use the legal system to basically not give any information. And as of late, my law firm has been the subject of 2 lawsuits where they're claiming defamation. And to give you an idea of how unusual this practice is, when it comes to filing a lawsuit against another lawyer, I've identified a handful of cases throughout the throughout the country as far as decisions that relate to this practice. And all of them say the same, essentially the same thing, is that you can't just sue another lawyer for filing and prosecuting a lawsuit. So yes, and during the 2 lawsuits that I've gotten happened to be during COVID. So the people that were on the other side of my cases that were being accused of engaging into some heavy duty fraud and the like, used their go-to lawyers to sue the guy that's prosecuting the claims. And so now what we have done is, when this first happened, we went through a period of not knowing, what to do or where to turn, because this happens, to be something rather unprecedented. And for the last 3 months, we've done a ton of research. We've filed lawsuits against the lawyers, filing lawsuits against us, and now we feel like we have an answer to all of this.
Tell me what's happening.
It's amazing.
You were here last week, Jay. What has evolved? What's evolved in the cases since last
thus far,
week?
what's evolved in the cases is that, at least in one of them, we had a hearing yesterday, and the judge pointed out that this is a case about reputation, and that and she's looking to push the case forward as expeditiously and as fair as possible. This is a case pending in Seminole County, and what we have done and decided to do is ask for witnesses to come forward as it relates to the case. So we have a means of doing that, of advising the public that we want witnesses to come forward as to reputations of the people that are prosecuting these claims against us.
Isn't that interesting, though? This is a case, what I find interesting, Freddie, is this is a case that is on reputation, but yet the other side is suing you.
Right.
And all you have, we talked about this, all you have in this dash of a life is your reputation. At the end of the day, you are your reputation. So it seems a little hypocritical, for a lack of a legal term, of what's going on with this case.
Well, one of the things that the lawyer said to the court yesterday was that he was complaining that that he didn't agree with the claims that we had filed against his clients. Okay, and I get it. It's like, we are interrupting a pattern of alleged fraud and racketeering activity. I mean, I get the fact that the people on the other side don't like that, and that's what the law is supposed to be for. But interestingly enough, these large corporations, or some of them, and their lawyers know how to use the law to, once you get into a lawsuit, slow things down, make objections, so that way, the other side can't get the discovery that they're entitled to. And, we're seeing this already in one of the cases, that one of the first motions that was filed by these guys in response to my discovery request was the motion for enlargement of time and a motion for protective order to quash subpoenas. So, I think that the whole thing, what happened was, there's a lot of motivations behind this type of conduct. I mean, they're obviously trying to interrupt the attorney-client relationship. They're obviously trying to, get the upper hand. But we're not going away. So interestingly enough, I had I had attorneys reach out to me, and they're saying me too. One of them was saying that they had a motion for sanctions that was filed against them in the case. And this is what I'm seeing out there from the David versus Goliath stories that are all through the clerk's offices, in the state of Florida and all over the country, is that lawyers trying to do their job. What happens is, as now a more routine practice, is that the lawyer themselves gets threatened for sanctions, and it basically puts the lawyer at the heart of the lawsuit instead of the claims at the heart of the lawsuit, which is what it should be. So we are. This has forced us to become better lawyers. It's forced us to do a ton of research and to see what's possible, and now to be in service to other lawyers. And this is where kind of really what I want to talk about today is creating a group. I think I'm going to create a Facebook group about this lawyer bullying lawyers, and so lawyers can share their stories and maybe get support Because listen, when you have something like this happen to you, especially when you're prosecuting claims for racketeering, and then you become the subject of a lawsuit or for sanctions, I mean, you know, when you're sitting in your office and you don't know which way to turn, you know, it's nice to have support. And I'm a big proponent of lawyers' help because it's a tough enough business as it is.
The legal field is a
it's-
tough
it's
business, and I
stressful.
find it interesting. You even told me you've had attorneys reach out to you from Canada and not
Yes.
just South Florida that have said your message is out there and it's powerful, and you would never think attorneys bullying other attorneys would be as big as it is.
The lawyer, that this person from Canada was saying that it's happened. It's happened up there to them, and that they're aware of it, and it's systemic. And I think that I was having this conversation with someone the other day. The law is really one of the only professions that has not technologically evolved so much as the practice of medicine, for example. You know, I say that we can do things as lawyers now, as far as research is concerned, in a matter of minutes that used to take hours. You know, there's a lot of things that seemingly could be advanced in the law to allow claims to proceed a little more smoothly, efficiently, and part of representing the quote unquote David clients versus Goliath is out of the box thinking of how do I get my client to a result, you know, as efficiently as possible. And you know, I'm a big proponent when I've talked about this on with you guys before about, you know, pre-suit mediations and mediation. But the practice, when I started practicing in 2003, you know, receiving a sanctions motion from another attorney was nearly unheard of. And when I talked to my former bosses about it, when it did happen, they were saying, you know, this is one of the most unprofessional things you could do to someone who's trying to do their job. Is basically put their pocketbook at play.
Well, let me
And
ask you
as
another
the years
question,
have gone
Jay.
by, it's become more of a practice. It's almost automatic now, where in my cases, I'm going to receive an initial threat of some type of sanctions when I'm prosecuting a racketeering case.
But when
So-
this goes before a judge at some point in this hearing, and they see that it is commingled, even though they may stand separate, there is a reason attorneys are being sued and sanctioned by other attorneys. It's not just because, right? So there's a case attached to it. What is the feedback you're getting from the judge, or the judges in this case?
I mean, the judge in this particular case didn't give feedback. It wasn't the time or the place, I think. But my opinion is that from the entirety of the hearing is that the judge was very mindful about what this case was all about. And he was very mindful about this in the case of lawyers, suing lawyers for doing their job. And even the lawyer that's representing the plaintiffs in this action against me said that the reason why this is happening is because we, quote unquote, filed frivolous lawsuits against them. Well, if that's the case, you know, then defend the other actions. And that's where this should be brought. This is grandstanding. This is the effort to truly try to break up an attorney-client relationship, to put the lawyers in a position where they have to come out of pocket to defend themselves. And this is never supposed to be the means by which a defendant can use the law to try to defend their case. Because I would imagine that at least in one of my cases, they're coming after me, asking me for my entire attorney file. So imagine, you know, I file a case against somebody, and now they file a lawsuit against me personally, asking me, I want to see your file. I want to see every communication that you have with your client. I want to know everybody that you talk to. Well, of course they do. You know, of course they want to see everything, my thing, because they want to investigate the investigators. But this is why it doesn't happen that it's not supposed to happen. But here, you know, here we find ourselves, and as soon as I had enough and got out of the initial shock of this happening, I thought about this moment, Dawn, that I would come out and talk about it and be like I've done in my Facebook feed for a number of years, is talk about what I'm going through, and hopefully somebody identifies, and if it supports another lawyer, you know, I hope that it does. And I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm going to continue to talk to this, because I think this is a matter of public concern, which is why I'm bringing these cases out, and talking about them here, because I think the public needs to know that when they're going into a lawsuit, what they might be expecting in 2020.
And what does this look like financially? It's not as if now you have to go out and hire an attorney, right? Other people get sued, they have to hire an attorney. But yet, it's your time. What is your time worth? There's filing fees. There has to be some cost incurred in all of this, as well as the emotional cost.
Of course, there's costs incurred. I mean, that's part of the reason why they're doing what they're doing. And that's something that it's a reality for me, and I've had to handle that. I mean, and I'm hoping that one day, when this either goes to trial or it goes to mediation where it gets resolved, that I'm going to be compensated for that maybe, and if I'm not, at least I've learned a tremendous amount about this area of law, and for that it's like I'm paying for an education.
Let me
this is not even about.
Let me ask you a question, because at the end of the rainbow, if they're doing this to take up time, space, and money, at the end of the rainbow, if anything that they accuse you of is found not to be real, you're not going to get that time and energy and money back. So,
and fundamentally, absolutely.
So this is like a
But
tactic to remove you from focusing on a deal here. What I don't understand about this whole thing is that the end game here is to disrupt what you're doing. And a judge, either judge, because there could be two judges involved in this thing, they have to understand that this is a game. Now, I did some preliminary investigations, and I found out that it's like when you get an attorney that's given to you by the state. You commit a crime and they give you an attorney. And then you go up against a corporate attorney. And these guys get bullied every day, is what I was told in New York. This happens on an everyday basis where they end up pleading out 90%, 95% of deals because they're bullied into not going to court because they're afraid of the big bad monster.
And that's probably what they're looking to do.
And yes, so they found a different type of lawyer in me because I'm doing this for justice. I'm not running away because this is affecting my pocketbook. I wouldn't do that to my oath. I wouldn't do that to my clients. And I think that ultimately, when this case makes law, and I think that it might, that this is for other attorneys going forward. I mean, this is truly a journey, a purposeful journey that I've been on, especially with one of the cases for about a year and a half. And I'm not going anywhere. And the more that this happens, I have this quote, bad guys make bad mistakes, or they make bad guy mistakes. In this case, they've now sued me for defamation. So now this opens up their entire life to me, proverbially, to discover information as to their reputation, as to the reputation of their company. So now I'm going to the public and I'm asking specifically for people to come forward, witnesses to come forward, if you have any information as to this particular company. And I have posted some things out. We'll be posting some things out that are asking for witnesses to come forward. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that big bad machine, Freddie, that big bad machine is a machine where lawyers are billing $800 an hour, and someone has millions of dollars to prosecute the case and paper the file and all these other things. That way has been developed through and evolved through people with money, influence, and power dominating the legal system. And I'm saying that there's a better way, especially when you have information on your side and what you can do ethically and what you can't do, and what the law says, especially about these lawsuits. And I'm going to use everything to my advantage to show that money, influence, and power are not the only way that you can get justice. And if this is a learning experience and I have to pay a couple of lawyers' fees along the way to do it, that's part, I guess, an occupational hazard. But running away or cutting and run. It's not in my DNA.
And when you're finding
and
the people that were reaching out to the other attorneys, have they been retreating when these things have been happening to them also? Are they pushing forward as you have, or have they actually said, you know what, it's not worth it, I'm going to back away?
I think I said this in the last program. I spoke to a lawyer who's done a lot of civil racketeering work, and I asked him a question. This is before I got sued, about all of these threats for sanctions. I said, you know what? Is it possible that these lawyers are now aiding and abetting the RICO activity by filing frivolous sanctions or otherwise? And he's like, I think that he's like, you're absolutely on the right track. I feel the same way, but I have kids, and I don't get into these cases anymore because of what's developed in the law. And here's a great guy who's got a tremendous amount of experience, but just doesn't necessarily want to jump into the pond because of issues like this. I have had other lawyers tell me that what I'm doing is something that they would never do in a million years. They want to do their job, go home, and take their paycheck and go home to their families. Hey, I think that it's more an obligation to the oath of office that you have as an attorney to take these cases and prosecute them and do whatever you need to do. But the reality is, people think about everything they have, like coming out of pocket personally to pay for a lawsuit that was filed against you, that you're actually trying to prosecute another claim. I mean, how genius is that if that was to work on the other side?
It's true.
So to answer your question,
take your time away from it.
Yeah, so sadly, I would say thousands. I mean, claims die in lawyers' offices all the time when a potential client sits and they tell the story, and the lawyer says, that law firm that's representing them is going to pay for you to death. You're going to end up going into bankruptcy, and they're going to file a lawsuit against you for filing a lawsuit against them. And that's how it's explained to some people. And I think that there's a better way. I think that every time that you file a case, it's a matter of public record. And I think that's a very powerful piece that people ignore, is that public record is, part of the claims against me have to do with the issues of quote-unquote these press releases, which in fact, that a lot of them are just asking for witnesses to come forward. But all the cases that are filed now are with electronic filing. So everything that I write is filed, and it's a matter of public record. And it's a matter for public consumption. And if I'm making more public what's already public in order to advance the client's claims, I'm going to continue to do that. And I think that might be one of the more powerful pieces of what's going on in the law today, is how much of this is actually public record.
That's an interesting point, because once it's filed, it becomes public record, and by you being more visible, people realize it's not just them that are being bullied. There's actually a movement, for lack of a better word, of what you are creating now is a movement that it doesn't have to be this way, that if you unite and come together, what do you guys always say? You're stronger together.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a movement that this conduct of the way that the lawyers just randomly throw out frivolous sanctions threats and filing lawsuits is going to be not tolerated in the law. And if I'm starting something here and I'm talking about it, I'm going to continue to come on. I'm going to continue to talk about it. As things develop, on this particular show, I mean, I'm just talking about in broad strokes. I'm not, mentioning any names. I'm not using this platform I don't want to use this platform necessarily to individualize what I'm going after, because I think there's a bigger conversation here. And the conversation is that this has been going on, and it needs to stop.
The conversation I like is that this has been going on, and nobody's ever said anything. It's like this is part of business as usual to get beat up on and to just pass on things. I mean, that's the part of this thing that I get amazed at. And it's like a trend right now of what's going on in our society.
It's true.
Injustice happens at every level, at every degree. Look what happened in the Supreme Court. You would think that doesn't happen. But these are attorneys doing this. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Have any agreed to come on and maybe talk with us on the air to let us know what's
I
going on in their life?
was gonna invite them on to say, listen, let's have a conversation about it. Like where in this, all of this do you find yourself when you're the lawyer, basically saying to the guy representing what I call the David side, which is like the David versus Goliath side, where do you see yourself in all of this? Like, where's the basis for what you're doing? Because if you're just going to send out an idle threat for sanctions, that's terrifying to most lawyers. Because you're saying that I'm going to come after you personally for all of my attorney's fees, which could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. When you sue somebody like they've sued me, it's like they have now not only attempted to interrupt my client's relationship, but they've also put me at the center of a lawsuit, and I have nothing to do. You know what this guy said to me the other day? Because I actually spoke to one of the lawyers, and I said, I've been on one radio show. I intend on going on more. I'm intending on getting this to the New York Times if I can. And he said, well, now you know how they feel. And I've been with that for about a week. He said, you know what, that's how they feel, which means that like the public information that I made more public, they're upset about that. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not the one that has run their business in such a way that they find themselves the way they find themselves. In other words, I am not, while it's easy to blame somebody, I'm not at fault for what's going on here. There's no accident that there's 4 pending lawsuits against this company for civil racketeering and many other lawsuits around the country for fraud. So I'd like to invite them on. I'd like to have this conversation.
It's interesting because you're talking about, and we don't know about the cases, but you're talking about a business it could be perhaps multi-million-dollar going in either direction. And not to make this a simpler case, but in baseball, they caught a team cheating by hitting on a can to let the batter know what pitch is being sent. They were breaking the rules. And the whole world has turned upside down about removing their rings, taking the banners that fly. They've changed the game. It's like the White Sox scandal all over again. And such a simple trivia game, they caught these guys allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I don't have any proof that they were caught guilty, even though baseball thinks they are. It's such a simple thing. Something as complicated as this, where think about the case. Let's assume that the charges against the case are real. You're talking about major stuff going on here, and you don't want to bring justice to the surface because you're going to be picking on the attorney that's doing it to bully him to get him out of the game. Really? I mean, think about that. This makes baseball look like flowers.
Justice is one thing, and Jay and I we've talked about what it's like, the mindset of when you go to law school, how your mindset shifts through those 3 years of law school and what that culture is like. And then you go out into this world, and the culture is, you're sort of set up for this culture in law school of the competition, of the bullying, of survival of the fittest. And you get out there and you realize it's bigger than you ever imagined, but now it becomes your livelihood. Now it becomes, how many millions are you going to be as that corporate attorney? What does that look like for you? As opposed to a single attorney law firm. Totally different. You have the money and the finances and the backers, the investors, to pay those salaries and to pay your team, versus the David and Goliath, the little guy, where you and your staff are doing this on your own. Again, it's the divide of the haves and the have-nots.
And here's what I've gotten some allies along the way. I have a team of lawyers right now that are fighting with me side by side. I mean, there's about 7 of us, I think, in total on our side that are fighting side by side, and we have, it's like it's not just passion is one thing, but we're recognizing for what it is. We're at war for the heart of the legal system. We're at war for the heart of the legal system. Like you just said, Dawn, like some lawyers in these very large law firms never think twice about what they would do to the little guy. Because their client didn't think twice before what they did to the little guy. I mean, I'm representing people that got stolen commissions. I'm representing people that got potentially lied to in circumstances to get the other side a money advantage. And now it's like, when you think you get to a lawsuit and then you're going to have a smooth shot to justice, And then you have these types of hurdles, which are, again, a product of the evolution of something that has been created over the last 15 years in the law, where it's now exponentially, where it's now the rule as opposed to the exception, to threaten your opponent with sanctions or even a lawsuit when you file a claim in certain areas of the law. You know, and you're not going to get this in personal injury law, probably. You're not going to get this in regular breach of contract law. But when some people are committing crimes while they're ripping people off, this becomes civil racketeering. The amount of defendants in my case are significant. And, you know, the lawyer, me, becomes the bad guy. And I guess that's the answer. You're right.
And I feel
Freddie,
like it goes to your mindset again. It's a cultural mindset. It's a mindset of where we're at right now in business. It's a mindset of, there's so many things. I mean, Jay, when this happened during COVID, and now you see the different PPPs that are going to different corporations, and it's just a greater divide, in my opinion, of what this is. So I'm glad that you're having a voice, and people are coming forward, other attorneys that are saying, you know what, we can unite. Because, you know, maybe the good guys need to unite as well as the bullies who do what they do.
Well, the bottom line here, Jay, is you have to use every angle just to survive. They're writing in and asking me, is negotiations with the other side to stop this bullying, is that even applicable? Is that even something that you can do, have attempted to do, or is that off the table?
Absolutely, because Freddie, you made a good point in the last show we had. It's like, hey, what if this is just a tactic? I think this goes way beyond the line of tactic. Mm-hmm. But even then, I'm always looking for, where do you find the solution in all this? Because you can fight all day long, you can fight for 4 years. But where is the solution in all this? Because if I'm not going anywhere, eventually there's going to be a solution to all of this. I mean, mind you, I'm angry, but I'm not going to take it personally. I try not to. But if you're going to call me all kinds of names in a pleading, if you're going to put me in a position where I have to choose between my pocketbook and my client, I'm picking my client every single time. You know, but there is a spot for negotiations, no matter how bad you get it. You know, this is again, at the end of the day, we're attempting to resolve a dispute between two people. No matter how heavy the dispute is, it's a dispute between one person or multiple people. And it's our job as lawyers to figure out how to do that. And it's not productive when you start pointing the finger at the other lawyer. And then, you know, because if you roll the dice and you lose and that lawyer doesn't go away, you know, whatever persists or whatever, you know, you're basically pouring gasoline on the fire.
It's taking accountability is what we talk about. This finger pointing that we are doing in society is just not serving anyone at any point. You can contact Jay and his law firm in Fort Lauderdale at farralawfirm.com. Your phone number, Jay?
Yes. 954-252-9818. And if there's any lawyers out there that have any questions about, you know, they're going through it, please give me a call. I'm happy to jump on the phone and offer some support if I can.
And we're making a public record that negotiations are on the table. This is not about the wine and cheese deal. They are standing up for their rights. Negotiations is public record now, and I want everybody to understand that because people are writing in. Negotiations to discuss this thing is on the table. Ain't nobody hiding from this thing, but it's got to stop. This is just nonsense already. You know what I'm saying? And if we had to go to the media to do this thing, then we go to the media to do it. I mean, this is just so unfair to the clients involved in this thing at the end of the day.
And what's happening? All you're doing is incurring more costs.
That's right.
Jay,
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're the best.
Thanks.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come up, we'll wrap up our Tuesday show.
Okay.
Talk a little more about Dignity, what they've got going on, and bullying. Let us know how you feel. 888-994-4995. We're here to give you resources, and we hope we are helping. So stay tuned, and we're going to go take a quick commercial break.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.danielleboujon.com BULJAN.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
Pizza District is the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. They have amazing deals, great food, and an even better customer connection. Their owner, Nico, runs the friendliest and cleanest pizzeria for miles around. With their pizza made with whole wheat, gluten-free, cauliflower crust, and traditional New York style, you can't go wrong. Plus all the extras like salad and chicken wings. They are a family-run business with a great atmosphere. Call today to order your pizza and tell them the Brooklyn Cafe sent you at 561-961-4163. That's 561-961-4163 for Pizza District, the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Dutch Designs and Events is a unique business providing an extensive range of beautiful floral arrangements. They have the power to bring your event or special occasion to life. Dutch Designs are available for any event or to open your business with a smile. All flowers are grown with organic compounds that enhance their fragrance and beauty. Call Dutch Designs at 561-419-8126 or visit their website at DutchDesignsEventPlanning.com. Call Dutch Designs at 561-419-8126.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. And you know something? I just had my day all done. Put a bow on it, and here we go.
Validation is a beautiful thing, isn't
Well,
it?
it isn't about validation. It's about being on the right side of what's going on. No matter how many people point at you and say you're wrong, you're not wrong. And I don't care about being right or wrong. It has to be justified. Seriously, you spend a lot of time and energy on work. Jay's talking about this thing as well. I wanted to bring up yesterday, we had those two guys in here.
With Steve-O.
With Steve-O. I can't believe the number of comments that were written about how these two guys helped them get unemployment and getting all the unemployment. Okay, so there was over 6,000 strong that watched that show yesterday, and I'm hoping that it was vital and informative and that you learned something. We're going to post something during the week if you need more help. I mean, I'm thinking of applying because it depends. If they tell me no, they tell me no, but justifiably, I lost income. Am I allowed to ask for it back if they're doing this? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know how it works. I keep saying I don't know. I don't know how it works. But There seems to be a lot of help out there, and then there's a lot of people that are falling through the cracks.
And we don't know how to get the help to you. We're trying to give you as much information as we possibly can. Yes, we do this for 3 hours a day. A lot of stuff goes your way, some of it entertainment, but yesterday's show, I just wanted to bring it up with those two DJs helping DJs, and those two boys came about, and we didn't quite hit the mark and getting the mark out there. We're going to try it again to get it done right. But my goodness, the write-ins, they said those kids have helped so many families get on unemployment and get it done. Even Steve-O.
What I'd like to do, Freddie, is bring them back in and dedicate.
Agreed.
We didn't know they were coming, so we had a whole nother show prepared, and we sort of threw it in as a segment, and we rolled with it. But I'd really like to do a show, really the Q&A of did you know, how to do this, what to do, some options, who's entitled to it, all non-government. This is not brought to you by anyone that we know that's in the government. This is just from people in our community that are trying to help and share that information out, really in a more of a proactive interview way.
And they found a way of helping the system get along because the system still has problems. And there were people in our present who did not apply, and we asked the questions, and they said, yes, apply. And they were like, whoa, is this real? And people are trying to find out whether or not the information they're saying is real. From what I read yesterday, all of the comments, they're real. So I want to maybe get the assistant mayors that we've had in the past from Fort Lauderdale and Boca, maybe have a conversation with them, and we can justify this thing 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to tell you, if you go back, I mean, here it is just Tuesday, the information that we're sharing with you guys is to try to help you, including Dignity's piece about joining this club. This is free, to give something back to not only your workers, but their families. And this is all to help offset costs of what's going on around you. Just, wise up and take advantage of it.
And I know being sensitive, there are people, and I've seen them post things that everyone's trying to make some money. There are people that are having a hard time just making ends meet. Forget putting money away, it's just making ends meet. But they're not thinking about pre-planning. But Dignity will work with you. These are the times that you actually want to dig deep and say, all right, let me see what I can do. Put this in place for my employees. Put this in place so God forbid. I heard a story that there was an older couple. They didn't want to get on an airplane to travel. So they took a road trip, 80 years old. They were driving. The gentleman was killed in a car accident because they were trying to avoid being exposed in an airplane. They should have never probably been driving the way they did. I don't know if they have plans in place, but these are things that we're trying, as you always say, we're trying to avoid one thing, but yet we walk into a storm someplace else. We just don't know what it is.
That's right. And if you don't know, I'm not asking you to use any of the services. All I'm saying is that they're there, and you get the coupons, you get the letters, you get the different things.
We hope that you're not using this for 50 years.
We hope, you don't even have to sign up if you don't want to. It's your money lost if you don't, but it doesn't make a difference. But at least you're getting the benefits of getting all of the coupons, all of the savings, because your employee put you on a plan, which is free to them. There's nobody paying for any of this information. Give you the information so that, God forbid, if you need it, like that guy that got killed. And listen, I've run into that situation twice. I didn't think that my parents were going to leave me either. And then you got to come up with some solutions. So this is just a give back. Again, it's all part of the information. We're trying to help you guys along. Our attorneys that are being bullied. I mean, you name it. And whatever's going on, unemployment, or whatever's going on, we're just trying to give you the information to help.
It seems, and I don't know even who to bring in, so if you have the information, there's so many resources. There's the SBA, the people that got the PPP, there's those that didn't get the PPP. Now there's extensions on 40% versus 25% going to salary, and now at 40%, more money can go to rent. And now they come up with unemployment. I don't know what justifies unemployment. If you are a small business and you weren't able to work to capacity, does that mean you were unemployed but yet you were making some money? I don't know. I don't know where it levels out.
Well, you know what? Let's get the two kids involved. I mean, give them a holler and let's find out. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question.
And then can you layer your unemployment and your PPP? And can you layer these sources of income?
I don't know. All I know is I got an encyclopedia here. I'm going to start using it. Because those two kids are good, and they've helped tons of families. I don't have all the answers. I didn't know they were coming.
We did not know. So we will get that information out to you as well.
Absolutely. Anyway, There
and
you
you
have it.
guys are out of the
Out of the closet.
One, if we only had a camera to film what's going on walking past me. Have a great day, everyone. Do not be bullied. If you need to reach out for legal services, or if you are in a situation with the RICO case, contact Jay Farrow at Farrow Law Firm. Let them see how they can help you or steer you to somebody that might be able to. We're going to get you that information on unemployment for Wayne, for Dignity Memorial Southeast Florida. Follow them on Facebook. It's the Southeast Florida Dignity Memorial. Text him at 561-654-9000. There are 2 seminars. One is in person at BJ's in Coral Springs for lunch on Thursday that you need to register for. People will be 6 feet apart unless you're living in the same household, or they'll do it virtually. It's a Did You Know at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Again, they need to send you the link. You cannot find it scrolling. Just text Wayne, say, I need the link, I want some more information. They're also having pre-planning parties at your home. They send in food. They will take care of everything. All you need to do is text them and say, I'd like to have a conversation, and they will take it from there.
Okay.
561-654-9000. And it's already Tuesday.
That's right. We're
Ready to
moving
rock
on to
and roll.
Wednesday.
Have a great day, everyone. Be safe, be kind, wash your hands. And I just got a text saying that it may possibly be spreading out coronavirus through flushing the toilet. So close the lid. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
Sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna say and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just a ray of light.